Okay, well, good morning, everyone. Thanks for coming here and good to see you all again. As you all know, we had our press release this morning. We reiterated our guidance for this year. We had also stressed certain points. I'm just going to go through some of the messages that we had put across. The first to start with is we're very happy that we started the year picking up the momentum of last year. So it's been strong across all three businesses. As you know, last year we talked about capacity for the injectables for quite some time, and we did say to everyone that we had installed 2 new lines. So we're seeing the benefit of those 2 lines now. They had relieved a lot of the problems that we have with capacity, and now we feel that the lines are giving us what we need. The branded business is off to a good start. We were also always talking about the currency, especially the Egyptian currencies in that area. I think Khaled will talk about it a little more, but we see it easing off and better than expected. So we feel that this division is also off to a good start. Generics is also performing well. You know all the story of the sodium oxybate and the momentum there, and we feel that this is continuing, especially on the top line. And we'll answer some of the questions that I'm sure you have. And last week, most importantly, with this division, we had announced the change of leadership. I think we always felt that this division in particular, we needed to improve our R&D output and new product, BD, and so forth. So we had, we announced last week. Was it last week? Yeah, we announced last week that for the change of leadership, and Hafran Frederiksdottir will be joining us. She has an incredible career in R&D and in technical aspects of this industry, and we feel that she will fill in a gap that we desperately need in that division. And overall, we're really excited. I think we are off to a good year, and I hope this continues. We are pretty sure, confident that this will continue, and this is why we reiterated our guidance. So with that, I'll open it to all of you to ask your questions. Here's what.
Right, thank you. Yeah, so thank you. It's Alistair Campbell from RBC. Maybe we'll just start with that change of leadership and generics, more specifically increased emphasis on the pipeline R&D. Do you think you'll be able to deliver that and achieve that within the current sort of broad margin construct you've set us for that going forward?
Yeah, I think so. I think there are 2 different things. The change of leadership will bring 2 different things. The first is strengthening our R&D. Our R&D output, it's been weak. We have a very soft, very soft submission rate, very soft. Our portfolio has been very soft for the future portfolio. So that's the first thing that we need to strengthen. I know this doesn't come overnight. That takes time to build. But the structure of this needs to be put together, the focus on getting this started and picking the right product for this division. I think the experience in doing this is very important, and we're very positive. The other thing that it brings in is, as you all know, we want to invest in this business. We want to get products. So the evaluation of which products should we go after, what companies can we co-develop products with, what companies can we acquire products with, and what should we acquire. There are a lot of aspects to this that we need that deep technical knowledge to help us making that assessment. And I think she will definitely bring in a lot of that value in.
Maybe just a follow-up question on the back of that, Emily Field from Barclays. If you could just perhaps describe, within generics R&D, are there any particular therapeutic areas, or, looking at more complex generics, more respiratory? If you could just maybe expound on sort of opportunities for enhanced R&D investment just within generics.
Yes, sure. I mean, of course, we want to go to something that we're a good technology and something that we're good at, something that we can manufacture ourselves that would be even better. So as you know, we're good in nasals and respiratory products. We have lines for those. the good technology. We have also a good market share with some of those products. So we just need to build on that. So this is the focus, is how to build what products that we have to develop or acquire or add to the portfolio that we currently have. I think that's the focus. Also, there's a focus on what technology should we get into. We have a huge plant in Columbus. I'm not sure if any of you have seen it, but it's absolutely beautiful, great area, and has a lot of technology. We can absorb more technologies. We can invest in those technologies. I think it's the same concept that we did with injectables. Injectables, our success is we want to head not only after products, but also after technology. That will create differentiation. Complex products is definitely something that we want to get into, but that takes time. And we will start, building that. We have some in the pipeline, but we need to build more. But also technologies is something that will create great differentiation between us and our competitors.
Great, thanks. It's Max Herman from Stifel. Just one going on to your R&D focus. A bit of an update on the Ellipta collaboration that you had and the progresses with regards to that in the generics division, and then also there was a big change in Advair and it's the generics at the beginning of the year, and I'm trying to understand what was the driver to that. Glaxo seems to have given up on defending that franchise. And then maybe with injectables and the increasing capacity that you talked about with the 2 high-speed lines, I mean, obviously the rate of growth in the division means that capacity will be used pretty quickly. So what are the plans in terms of expanding beyond those?
Yeah, great questions. The first one for Ellipta, I can give you more information. I can tell you that the collaborations continues. There's always an update and evaluation, and I'm happy that Hafron will also help in the evaluations of where we are, what we need to do, and how can we accelerate this. This is something that would be very much, our desire to add to our franchise that we already have today. So I think her experience and her assessment on where we are will be very valuable in this case. As far as Advair and what's happening in this year, yes, when at the beginning of the year, as you know, with the Inflation Act that they had, there were a lot of, and GSK seems to have decided to let go of some of the market share that they had, and of course, as you can see, and you all probably can see that we had increased our market share with Advair, and the two, we have about 25% of the market right now, and I think Mylan has the 40%, and so I think there's an opportunity for us to pick up what GSK had left off. Of course, that needs this is a complex manufacturing, and we need to make sure that our production is up to that par, and we pick up the contracts that we can deliver. So we are very busy doing this, and our salespeople, our commercial people are doing a great job with this thing. So it has been positive for us. As far as the capacity in injectables, we have a good problem in injectables that whenever we add capacity, it seems like it gets consumed very quickly. So it's good, the demand is there. The only problem with that is adding capacity in this particular technology or particular segment is not easy. You need to have planning. But luckily, our engineers are always ahead of the game. We just started building our 5th plant in Portugal. Actually, they started breaking ground 2 weeks ago. Equipment has been ordered. We have huge lyos that have been ordered, lines that are already on order. This will take a couple of years before it actually materializes, but we're excited about this. So as soon as we got new lines coming in, as you know, the capacity in the injectables has been going on. The expansion of capacity in injectables has been going on beyond Portugal. We have had added a line in Cherry Hill last year. We added also a fast line in Portugal. We have completed 2 plants now in North Africa that will be validated this year sometime. Probably will open the doors towards the end of this year. Italy is also, We doubled the capacity there, and they're in the last phases of, validation and installation and so forth. And that should be coming in also at the end of this year. But we also feel that this unit can also absorb a lot more demand, especially with contract manufacturing and the growth of our products. As you all know, last year we added 17 new products to our pipeline. This year we're also adding some good number of products. So we're always growing our portfolio. Demand is growing. Contract manufacturing is growing. So capacity is definitely will always be needed, and we are planning ahead of time to continue adding capacity as we go.
Okay, so Paul Cudden from Numis. Just going back to generics, I'm afraid, but you seem to be painting a picture of a sort of weaker pipeline to come through in the kind of years ahead. So I'm just wondering to what extent your previous 100 to 120 million base profitability is more uncertain, or are your new plans intended to grow that baseline of generic profitability? So that would be the first question.
No, I'm very confident that the 100, 120 that we had previously given the market something that we can stick to, and that would be a minimum number, but we want to improve on that. We want to make sure that the foundation of this division is strong, and we want to build the future. So we don't want to depend on what we have today, but what we will have and can get in the future. I think there are two things that we want to, the changes that we're doing in this division shows. One is our commitment to this division. We believe that this division has the right foundation. We just need to make sure that we create a future to it. We have the right technology. We are in the right location in the United States. Fantastic quality record. We have outputs. One of the largest facilities in the U.S. So we have all the elements to make this more successful than the way it is. I think what stands between us and doing this is creating a future, creating a portfolio of products that, it seems like we've had products coming in every other year, maybe every 2 to 3 years, and, we shoot up and then that product comes down and we come down with it. We should be able to do that consistently. We should be able to have a momentum of products that when one comes and then comes down, because anything that goes up is going to come down eventually, you have one right behind it. And it seems there's a void and a gap. And this is why everybody is not trusting this division in a way. And sometimes we call, the cyclicality of this division and so forth. But I think we can fix all that. And the way to fix that is with a strong portfolio and a strong pipeline, and that's what we're planning to do.
Thank you. And no de-emphasis on the specialty portfolio. That will be something that you sort of continue to increase the mix of within generics.
Yeah, the specialty is a fantastic idea, but it's a very difficult. It's something that we really need to do, but we also need to make sure that we are realistic about what we're doing. So although a specialty business is something that we want to get into, it creates differentiation between us and other competitors. It gives us something on top of what we have today with the baseline of generic products. But we also have to know that we need to commit to it, and we need to have more than 1 or 2 products in a basket, because it does require a lot of money to detail those specialty products. So, and this is one of the things that we want to do. And this is one of the things that I've talked about, what Heffron can help us do, and this assessing what other products can we add to that basket. Because really it's not, no matter how big the product is, the promotion of a product, specialty product to the market is extremely expensive. So the more you have in that basket, the better you absorb that cost. And I think, so this is where our focus is. Our focus is how can we make the specialty more successful than it is today. We're on a good start. I think we have a couple of good products. They've been growing, and I think they have a good future. But they will not have a fantastic future if we don't add to that basket more products, or be creative and getting something else to absorb the costs that we have. So we have a lot of ideas, and we're working with a lot of different ways. But this is something that we recognize that we need to fix.
Thank you. And just for me, moving on to the US injectables business, obviously Custopharm has been a fantastic acquisition. It's been a good contributor to growth, but focusing more on the organic growth drivers within injectables, will that be lagging your 4 to 6% guidance for the division, or could that be, 6 to 8% for the division, or could that be kind of up at that level on an organic basis?
Yeah, we have as you have seen, the two main changes that we have made since I took over, and it's only been 6-7 months, is that we appointed two presidents of the two of the three divisions that we have, very strong in R&D, very strong technically, and this is really to make sure that, because we believe that the future comes with good organic R&D, good understanding to technical, good understanding of good technical knowledge that we need to get to within our company. Bill, who took over my role and president of the injectables, is a PhD in chemistry, and has been in the R&D for quite some time, all his career. Has great understanding, and in the very few months that been in this role, he had really improved the R&D and organized the R&D, and I'm very hopeful. And obviously, if you see what we had done last year and how many products that we had introduced to the market, and this year we have a great output coming in. But I think the output is coming from simple products. We are concentrating on the more complex ones. So that's what Bill had brought in. I think we need to do more of that. I think there are a lot of ideas of how to do it, not only organically 100%. It could be organically, but it could be with help with other people that are a specialty. Co-development is something that we looking at. Partnership with API companies that we can make a specialty API for all of those new concepts are things that we are very active doing in the background right now. Of course, unfortunately, this is a business that, I did say it before, it's like a Christmas tree business. You plant the tree today so you can sell it in 7 years. Nothing that you do today is going to show you tomorrow. But I think you need to see the activities that happen today that you can predict what happens tomorrow. And I think this is what we're doing. We're trying to plant as many trees as possible. We're trying to make sure that we have the right processes in place and invest in the right place. It's not the lack of investment. The most important thing about R&D starts with not investment, to be honest with you. It's about picking the right product. Picking the right product means you need to have a good understanding of the market, good understanding technically with the products and so forth. And I think this is where we see both the likes of Heffron and Bill bringing in, and that's why we had made those changes, and they're actively working towards it.
Victoria Lambert from Berenberg. I just wanted to get a better sense of your biosimilar strategy. So I know you do partnerships. It looks like you are well covered for some oncology products. But I just wanted to get a sense of your exposure to immunology and ophthalmology biosimilars. Would you guys look to launching these products in MENA with a partner? And do you manufacture most of these products on behalf of your partner? And then just have a question on sterile drug compounding, how that's going, if you have all your licenses, and then you expect to be break even.
Okay. So for the first question, biosimilars, it's a very tough industry as you can hear about it from what everybody's doing. Some people are doubling up on it. Some people are just exiting right away. It is not as it's crowded market, and I think it becomes extremely lucrative when you are the first, second, third, maybe in the market. That's when you really make a lot of your money. We came in. We are not. We came in with partners because we can't make this ourselves, so we had to partner with people. And I think we partnered with the right partners because we do have the right transfer costs with them. I don't think we are going to be number 1, 2, or 3 of those 3 products or 2 products that we have. So I think we have to wait and see. They might come to surprise us, but in either way, we feel that we can compete. If not because we are one of the first in the market, it's because we have a good cost base, and I think we can compete based on that. This is in the US. In MENA, it's a different story. In MENA, we're leaders. We are partnering with Celltrion, and we have about 7 products now. Is it 7? 6, 7, 7, right? We have 7 products, and it's growing. We have a commitment and a great partnership with Celltrion to take their entire portfolio to MENA. We've been growing the market even more than the brand themselves. We have captured not only market share from the brand, but we're growing that ourselves too. We have plans to fill the product ourselves in MENA. It's something that we know we're in discussion with our partner with. So I think in MENA we are on a good footing where our future is very bright, and I think we will be growing this business significantly in the next few years and adding more to the portfolio. US and Europe, it's a different strategy. Again, we are not, the pioneers and the leaders, but we think we will benefit from this as we get those 2 products approved. As far as the compounding, we are happy with where we are with the compounding, and as I always said that compounding is a great business, and you seem to know a lot about compounding, so you really know that it is a good business. You know that there's a lot of potential of that business because a lot of the hospitals are keeping that business in until they trust the partner. They really don't want to give up what they have, but they would like to give up what they have because they're not in manufacturing; they are a hospital. But since they have that need, and they need to satisfy it, and they don't have many options, so many of them are choosing to keep it inside. This is where we're coming in, and we think we have a potential to grab this business, but we need to be careful also. We need to make sure that we start very slowly. We keep growing, we create foundation and trust, and little by little we add partners, and this is exactly what we're doing. We have all the states right now, all the significant states, not all 50. I think there are a couple that we chose not to go after, but the last one was California, and we got approval for that. It is growing month on month. We had the change of leadership. We announced it internally just a couple of weeks ago. We've had recruited people from good, reputable compounders, companies that do exactly that. We had built a good structure. We changed the structure to be a little bit more now that we have the infrastructure in place and the manufacturing in place. We concentrated on what to do with the commercial. So a lot of things going on, but we are very careful. The last thing that you want to do is disappoint somebody, make a mistake, not be able to deliver a product. So we really need to build that because we feel that this is a great potential, and if we do it right from the ground up, we'll end up with a very good business in a few years.
Hi, it's Pete here from Citi. Hope you're both well. Sorry for being late. 3 topics: branded, business development, and compounding. I'll try and be quick on each. But on branded, despite what we're seeing across the region, despite FX, geopolitics, this business is performing extremely well. So is this just broad-based strength and execution and strategy, or is there anything you'd call out country-wise or product area-wise that's driving a better performance from branded? That's question number 1. On BD, Riyad and Khalid, I know you're not going to say what you're doing, but could you at least just characterize the environment for doing BD this year? I mean, should we expect that something can get done? I know you have to repeat where your focus is. I know that, but I just want to get a sense, get a sense check, the environment for BD, good, bad, or ugly. And then lastly, just coming back to the compounding business, this partnership you had with Civica all those years ago, once you get critical mass, the service levels, does that turbocharge this compounding business, or is that a step too far? Because I know they're a very large hospital network. I was just wondering whether your existing Civica collaboration would turbocharge your compounding business over time.
I'll I'll speak a little bit about the branded, and I'll give it to Khaled to talk about the currencies and what happened there. But as you know, in the last few years, we have been really investing in the branded business. We've been adding many facilities, especially in oncology. Our chemical facility, our API facility, has been working very hard trying to get unique molecule for oncology to service all these new plants that we have. So we have a new plant in Algeria, we have a new plant in Morocco, we have one in Egypt. We are really covering the whole area, especially in oncology, and this has been growing very impressively. We are backward integrated, and we've been really spending a lot of money expanding our API facility. As you know, our API facility was extremely small in the past, so we never really give it a lot of attention. But in the last, I would say, 5 to 7 years, we have been we have changed the strategy, and we started focusing on it, and we've put some money into it. And right now we're seeing, the fruits of all that. So this is one big element of why the branded is doing well. Also, in the last few years, we've been investing a lot in BD partnerships. We did very well in also going from, providing medicine more into the diagnostics now, more into a lot more transforming the company. And I wouldn't say transforming, but adding to what we have from provider of medicines to also providing solutions to medical, to more of a health company rather than just a pharmaceutical company. And that has been entirely throughout all of the region. Locally, we've been expanding our facilities. And as you all know, there are a lot of facilities being built in that region. The last one that we're planning to break ground very soon on is in Saudi Arabia, and this is going to be happening very, very soon. So a lot of activities has been going on the branded. Maybe we never really talked about it to everybody, and this is why. But if you look at the last 2 years, the branded little by little has been doing well, and this year is not an exception. So that was one element, and there's an element also of the currencies and all this. And you want to
just maybe before heading into currency, it's the performance has been driven across all markets. So all markets have been doing very well, even in Egypt, although we have seen the currency but the business itself has been growing, and one of the reasons why we've upgraded or slightly upgraded our operating profit guidance is the reason currency has been better than what we've expected. When it's gonna stabilize, maybe there could be a further upside. But so far, what we are seeing, we're seeing very good momentum, and this momentum has been driven across all markets.
We have questions about BD and M&A. We have talked about the strategy that we have, and one of the strategy is looking for the future. I think this is one of the things that we have to strengthen, because when we come to you and give you our results, you had already, you want to go and say, okay, what's next? Where's it going in the future? And I think this is where we have to concentrate on. I think we're confident of what we do today. We're confident of what we can deliver at the year that we're talking about. But you all want to know, and we want to assure you of what happens in the future now. What will give us more in the future? This is why you're always asking about compounding. You're asking about all those, potential, breakthroughs. And I think this all happens with BD and M&A. And of course, with the portfolio R&D, building an R&D. And this is where our focus is. This is why this is why Bill is here. This is why Heffron is here, because we feel that is where we need technical people to evaluate. We need technical people to be able to build our R&D. And with those people added to our network, to our company, we really can do better in R&D and BD. We can evaluate better. We can be assured, that this is the way to go. And I think this is exactly what we're doing. So we did that in the R&D, in the presidents, in the management, but we also did the same thing in the structure that we have. So in our BD and Bassam's department, as you know, in M&A and BD, we have restructured this department, added a lot of competent people to it. And we are focusing on this because we feel that this is an opportunity today. As you know, we have a good balance sheet. A lot of companies don't. They're highly leveraged, and we're seeing a lot of opportunities. So this is the time now that we have to evaluate to see what we can grab, what would be synergetic with what we have today. And there are targets, and currently we're evaluating many. And I hope by near the end of this year we should have some, hopefully.
Compounding, I think.
For compounding, I keep saying the same thing. It's a business that you know, we all know. We started out thinking that this business is very much similar to the core business that we have, and it is, as far as the product, as far as the GMPs, as far as the controls that you have in manufacturing plant. Where it differs a lot is in commercial. In our core business, we have 4, 5, 6 customers, our wholesalers basically, that they sell the product. In this business, you have 5,000 hospitals that you have to individual customers that you have to vet, you have to bring them in, and you have to go through all the credit, through all the DA licenses and all this. It takes time. It takes time, not from us. We're happy to do it, but it's hard to get the attention of a pharmacist to say, hey, Bill, you have to fill those 4 pages, and we have to go through the process to get you in. And so, and that is going. We're putting more and more people into it to get more customers in. We feel that we can get few IDNs with a representation of 100+ hospitals. Maybe that would be the... So we put a strategy together. How can we expedite this process? How can we get more and more customers in? But before we do that, we want to make sure that we have the infrastructure. The worst thing you would do is you would get orders that you cannot satisfy. So, you have to make sure that both things are balanced. You want to, encourage our commercial, go and get orders, but you want to make sure that the back, your infrastructure, your manufacturing is healthy enough that you can satisfy all these orders. And we have been working on both. We have put all our systems right now. The water system has been validated. We put all the equipment in. A lot of activities are happening on the ground, on the manufacturing floor. At the same time, we're doing a lot in the commercial. So they're going hand in hand together. Progress is definitely very evident. We're very hopeful. And hopefully we'll see a pickup pretty soon.
The two emissions thing, you can leverage the syndicate.
Yeah, well, we can. I think the first thing that we wanted to do is make sure that we have all the hospitals. We cannot go to Civica and say, okay, we'll give you, but you cannot sell in this state and that state and this state. So that was one of the obstacles that we have. Now, I think with California being online, we should be able to say that. The second thing that we should be able to say that whatever order you give us, we will guarantee we give you. The whole model of Civica is that guarantee. I think the team is working with Civica and multiple other wholesalers and GPOs, and we want to make sure that whatever we promise, we deliver.
Hi, it's Christian Alley with Stifel. Couple, please. The usual one on generics and pricing in the US. What was it like in the first quarter, and what's your outlook for the year on pricing? And then just come back to the BD licensing partnership. Talking a lot more about partnerships. Across your division, particularly generics and specialties and others. Is that a shift in response to something that you're seeing in terms of the strategic direction, or is it more a reflection of kind of your leadership, your philosophy, and how you think you should be looking outside a bit more maybe than historically Hikma has?
I'll do the second one, and I'll give Khaled to talk about the pricing. He's good at numbers. For the second one, I would say it's not a shift; it's execution. We always knew that we really need to build our pipeline, and we know that we can't make everything ourselves. We know we have to go out, and if you look at some of the specialties that we have and some of the partnerships that we have, we've done well. We've done well in partnership, but I think we could have done better in execution. Some of those contracts that we have really did not go the entire way as we expected them to do. So I think it is really not a change. We know that the future is going to depend on what products you have, on differentiation, on efficiency, on the size of your portfolio, all of that. It's just how you execute towards that. And I think it's just a matter of execution. You want to take the pricing?
Yeah, the pricing, we said at the end of last year that it's always been in the pricing erosion in the generic. It's in the mid to high, so single digit. So it's no change to this. It's we're performing very well so far, and this has been assumed in our guidance as well.
Just going to pause and take questions from the line. You're ready to ask.
Ladies and gentlemen, if you would like to ask a question during the presentation, you may do so by pressing *1 on your telephone keypad. When preparing to ask your question, please ensure your phone is unmuted locally.
Take the question in the room all the way.
Yeah. Maybe just almost like summarizing what you're really in saying, which is that you want to, BD is really focused on building product pipeline and helping to strengthen that. Your R&D emphasis is again the pipeline, so it's kind of already focused on building for future growth. I mean that's pretty standard for any pharmaceutical company. But so why the change in emphasis? I guess is that not a change in the strategy there in terms of being much more focused on it.
I don't feel it's a change of emphasis. I feel that it's something that we had always talked about. I think we need to execute better. If I understood the question is, I think when you have a business that have a cyclicality like what we have in the generics today, you know, you introduce a product and you go up, and then the product starts dying off, and then you go down, and then you create this distrust with your investors, with the confidence in this business, and we've seen it. You know, we've seen a lot of people question, you know, why are you committing to a business that you don't have assurance in continuing to deliver every year the same way. I think we want to change that. I think we did say, look, we think this business has the right elements. I think it's missing few, and we have to go after filling those missing elements that it needs, those weaknesses. The weakness is in that portfolio. I think we have the right. Everything else is not only good, but it's fantastic. This site is pretty incredible in terms of capacity, in terms of size, in terms of cost, capabilities, technology. It's got everything. We have great automation. I went for a tour with Heffron, the new addition to the team, to the new president of this, and she's been there, done that. She's been in many companies and big companies, much bigger than ours. She said, "This is the nicest site I've seen." She said the automation is incredible that we have there. She said that some of the capabilities that we have is very impressive. So why are we having difficulty in making this business bigger than it is today? And I feel it is really related to keep introducing new products, keep being very active in development. I think we kind of relaxed, and the reason why is because the reason why I think mainly we had a lot of changes in how we set up R&D and who led the R&D. We've took R&D from BI when we acquired this facility. Then that had changed, and somebody else had come in and stayed 2-3 years, and that had gone, and then somebody else came in, and then we changed the structure into global R&D. So we would never really been a very sturdy, focused. We know where we're going. We know what we're going to spend. We know what we're going after. I think that's what we need to build. So it's not a shift. It's more of about, we knew where we need to go. We just need to execute.
It's execution and efficiency as well. It's the output of the R&D rather than the spend. So it's more focus on bringing more efficiency, more output of the R&D and the investments that we are making.
And we're willing to spend more. I mean, we're not spending we always said that we would do 6 to 7% of our revenue, and we're spending a little bit less, especially in that division right now. So we have capacity to spend more, and if it is justified, we'll even spend more than that. We just need to make sure that it's justified. We need to make sure that it makes sense and make sure that it would be worthwhile.
Hi, Seb Janté with Liberum. 2 questions, if I may. First of all, just to hearing what you're saying about the kind of pipeline in the generics business, and I'm wondering, obviously, side acquisition is going to take a while to kind of build that pipeline. So how should we be thinking about the CMO business during that phase? We've seen growth in that part of the business to plug capacity, to utilize capacity in the short term. And then the second question is just on sodium oxybate. And I just want to pick up on something you said in terms of seeing volume growth there. I think the other main AG company is volume limited. I just want to check whether you've got any volume limitations on your kind of AG agreement.
All right, I'll take the first one, and the second one, you guys want to take that one, the sodium oxybate, or as this is a very sensitive issue, so it's why. It's you just have to be careful what to say there. But your first one is in relation to. I'm sorry. The first question was the CMO. We did, as you all know, we are in injectables. We had built a good CMO business. The philosophy of that CMO business was, when we build facilities, it takes a while before we fill that facilities. So it's an opportunistic type of business where we can come and sell that capacity to somebody else who's ready to take it, rather than having to sit and absorb the cost. It's been a successful model. We've done very well to a point where now we're saying, well, maybe it should be a separate business. We're still looking at that. I think we can do it, and we're committed to do it, but we need to have the capacity before we commit to having an independent contract manufacturing unit in the injectables. In the generics, we have the capacity. We have a very good plant, as I mentioned before, quality record, pristine quality record in the United States. So I think it's got all the right elements to attract contract manufacturing. But contract manufacturing requires also contacts, requires who needs it, how you talk to them, how you bring it in. You transfer it. You need to transfer methods. It goes through 6-7 audits before they. It costs a lot of money to transfer products, and you don't want to give your products to contract manufacturer to somebody that can get you in trouble. So it does take time for you to get that trust going. It does take time for the auditing to take place, and it does take time for transferring all the methods, transferring all the. We are in this process with a few clients, but also we feel that. With the technical people that we had added, with the 2 new presidents that we had added, both Bill and Heffron have done this. As you all know, Heffron's experience is in companies that done a lot of that. And also Bill. Bill was, as you know, CEO of a company that did only virtual. So they know particularly well how this thing goes. So we're hopeful that we can, with those leaders, we can grow this business well. We're committed to this business. We know that we can do good at it, but we also know that we really need to reach the right person, the right company, and offer them the right attractive contracts for them to be motivated to move their products to us. But definitely, it's something that we're looking very closely at, and we are optimistic that we can grow this.
So we have the good manufacturing base. We have a strong quality track record, so we want to build on that, whether on CMO, at the same time, as Riyadh mentioned, bringing more into the specialty. We have Advil as well as growing very well. So this business is delivering good growth, but we want, based on the output that we have, to have it much stronger. And hope with Heffron, we are sure that we can grow this business further.
Thank you. Paul Cudden from Numis again. Just a few GLP-1 related questions. I mean, are you distributing those for obesity applications in the MENA region? I mean, could that be an opportunity? Could you actually manufacture them yourselves with any of your kind of facilities? I know it's peptides versus sterile injectables, but could you kind of rearrange the manufacturing? And if you're not, are you seeing any dynamic where sterile injectable manufacturers are switching capacity to GLP-1s to solve the shortages? And is that creating opportunities for you?
Yeah, excellent question. It seems like this GLP is like the new penicillins in the world, it's this new breakthrough. And we saw the acquisition of Eli Lilly just a couple of days ago also for this. So definitely it's something that we are looking at. We have partners for that, and both in MENA and in the US. Did we say anything publicly about this? Okay, so we have partners. We're looking at the different things and different options. We definitely are not ignoring this, but we know that we don't have it, developed ourselves, so we have to go through partners. As far as manufacturing, yes, we can manufacture it. It's not a problem with manufacturing peptides in our facilities. Most of those products are placed in a special delivery system like auto injectors or prefilled syringes, both of which we can make. So I don't think it would be a problem. I think the first thing is get it out of the market. When we do talk to partners, we always have that option, especially in MENA, because you do have the preference for localization in MENA. So we can, take, we can, consider that when we talk to people. And for US, we are talking to partners that are able to give us the volumes that we need. So it's something that we're watching very closely. We're talking to a lot of partners. Hopefully soon we could see something there. We'll see.
I know you mentioned track record and generics from a regulatory perspective. I think in some of these recent meetings you talked about the potential for greater FDA inspections industry-wide in injectables. I was just wondering sort of how has that materialized, and then maybe dovetailing into that, the question is in terms of how the shortage situation looks in the U.S. For injectables.
The regulatory inspection is, as you all know, had picked up a lot since after COVID. During the 2.5 years of COVID time, there weren't much inspection, especially international inspection. Domestic and international kind of FDA had frozen. They've done a lot of virtual inspections where they ask you for the paperwork, they go through all the paperwork without having to visit the site. It has changed now. They've been very active. They've been visiting all the sites. And, we've seen people that had done well and people that had done terrible. We've seen a lot of warning letters. A lot of people had stopped manufacturing. And, and the shortages continue. It's between 140 to 160 products now on the list. And, we do have a lot big portfolios. So every now and then we do have opportunities that come across those shortages, and our manufacturing plants are very good in turning on a dime and making sure that those opportunities are fulfilled and captured. We haven't never seen oral in shortages, but now we're seeing them. So it's not only limited to injectables anymore. We're seeing some of the orals coming up. So this is going to continue. I think this is part of the system. It's inherited in how the system is built in the US. And as long as there's a lot of pressure on pricing and a lot of pressure on the manufacturers to reduce their cost, there would be options where you decide to pull out from manufacturing some molecules because it gets to a point where it's not profitable anymore and you go choose something else. So that continues.
In orals, were you referencing the ADHD meds? Because I've read a lot about that.
That's one of them.
Okay,
and one of them.
And antibiotics.
Yeah, antibiotics, penicillins is one, but that's different. That's more related to API. But yeah, there are a lot of different reasons why. Some have to related to quota from DEA and how they distribute it. Some related to API. But it's new to see in orals and shortages.
We take one more quick question there. Okay, I think we'll wrap up. Riyad, don't know if you have any final words.
The final words is that, look, I've been a CEO for a few months now. It's been exciting. It's been traveling a lot, trying to understand what we have, what we need, how can we satisfy the needs, how can we fix some of the problems that we have, how can we accelerate the growth. It's been very exciting. It will be more exciting when we actually show something that is substantial and we're close. We feel that we are doing a lot now, and I think if you do a lot, then the results will show. Hopefully, you'll all see it soon. But yeah, we have a great company, a great foundation, great people. We are a public company. We work like a small group, although we're about 10,000 people, but we work like a small company. We're a public company, but we work like a private company. So we have a lot of advantages there, and capturing everybody's attention and motivation, and give them the right tools to grow. So I'm excited. I'm happy to where I am, and I look forward for the future. So thank you very much.
You should take your PS.